Roughly 2 weeks since the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack took place, the United Nations Security Council will hold close consultations today to discuss the tensions between India and Pakistan. So far, out of the 5 permanent members, China, France, Russia, UK and the US, 4 have signalled strong support for India. They have backed India as far as this terror attack is concerned that took place on a tourist site where 26 innocent civilians lost their lives. Meanwhile, a week after India suspended the Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan, it has now revived 6 hydropower projects in Kashmir, including increasing the reservoir capacity of storage at the TWC hydroelectric project. Once these 6 projects are completed, Jammu and Kashmir could generate up to 10,000 megawatts of electricity. This is crucial given that if the Indus Water Treaty was still operational, India would have had to give Pakistan 6 months' notice before starting this construction, during which time Islamabad would have mounted several legal challenges to possibly ensure that these projects do not see the light of day. All right, joining me now to talk about the several aspects to this story, Mohammed Ghazali from New Delhi, Nazir Masoodi from Srinagar. Nazir, let me come to you first. Fresh set of moves made by New Delhi ahead of that crucial meeting, the UNSC closed-door meeting. Talk to us about these hydropower projects and the impact that they are likely to have going forward.
Well, the first major decision government took was to suspend this Indus Water Treaty. What it means that now you don't have to take permission from the Indus Water Commission or their approval or allowing them to visit the sites. For example, in these visuals, you can see it is the Bagaliar project. Yesterday, water was temporarily suspended, but the storage capacity of this project is just for 3 lakh, cubic meter, feet of water. This acre feet of water, that is it. While as Pakistan gets around, 27 million acre water from Chenab River. So there are proposals to build more projects which have been already in the pipeline to make them. But for that, the government always needed to, get the approval from the Pakistan, get Indus Commission, Pakistani Commission, Water Commission to visit here. And so that, because these were the conditions of Indus Water Treaty. So normally Pakistan is getting around 100 million acre feet of water from the 3 rivers of this Indus here, and Jhelum and Chenab. Since yesterday, we have seen that water was stopped temporarily, and it created huge hue and cry. And many thought that it would be, Pakistan has been punished, but that's not going to happen immediately, because unless you raise the height of the dam, you cannot store more water, and then there would be the ecological cost. Then there would be some areas can be submerged. So it's not an easy task. It's a tall order. It will take years together. But by temporarily stopping the water, India has sent a message to Pakistan. What it means when we suspend this treaty, and we can say that's already, and what it means for Pakistan and its survival, because Pakistan has already said that if they divert the water, they will treat it as an act of war.
All right. In fact, stay with us, Nazir, because I want to now talk about the other aspects. So we are covering and focusing on the India-Pakistan tensions that have escalated for 3 reasons after the terror attack that took place on Pahalgam. One, of course, is the aspect that Nazir was pointing out, New Delhi's actions, New Delhi's water warfare, the details that you see on your screens. The other 2 aspects, remember, Pakistan continues to violate the ceasefire at the line of control, even as measures are now set to be taken going forward by New Delhi on multiple counts. But ahead of that, there is now the UNSC closed-door meeting that will take place by India time, 1:30 in the morning IST I'm talking about. And ahead of that, a very crucial meeting, phone call took place between President Putin and Prime Minister Modi. What does that mean? Signaling the support coming in from one of the P5 members. Ghazali, talk to us about the messaging, the optics that this sends out ahead of that crucial meeting.
See, Gauri, not just regarding this UNSC meeting which is going to take place, as you mentioned, the schedule, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, has been talking to non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. And then Prime Minister Modi receiving a phone call from Mr. Putin, the Russian president. That shows that how India and Pakistan, they both have been diplomatically jostling to gather more support. And evidently, we have seen that how the P5 countries have shown support to India for condemning the Pahalgam terror attack there. And Mr. Putin went on to say that he is with India when it comes to act against terror, and this is not a new alliance between India and Russia. And with with most of the members of the P5 countries, as well as many other countries who are non-permanent members, India already has a joint working committee or a group or mechanism to tackle global terror. And we have seen that in the last 6 months or so, that whenever Prime Minister goes on a foreign visit to any such countries, or even these foreign dignitaries come to India, a key part of our MOU revolves around tackling global threat. So that is one part, that how India has managed to gather a lot of support, and that will be quite evident when this Security Council closed door meeting happens. But very interesting would be to see Pakistan's stand, because in this entire Pahalgam terror attack, we know that who is the victim and who has been the aggressor. Now, what will be Pakistan's logic or excuse or kind of a standing when it comes to describing the Pahalgam terror attack? That would be interesting to see, whether Pakistan will be able to defend it, and what would be its talking points, and how India will counter it. That would be a interesting read as well as a visual to see.
All right, let's leave it there. Thank you so much, both of you, Nazir and Mohammed, for joining me to talk more on this story. In fact, ahead of that key UNSC meeting on India-Pakistan, let me put out now the big questions that we always ask on India Global before I open this up to experts joining me. First up, in fact, will world isolate pariah Pakistan at the UNSC closed-door meeting that will take place? Secondly, will the P5 countries now condemn Pakistan in that many words? Remember, they've backed India. One of them, in fact, held a call with India just hours before that meeting. But will they now come out with a statement condemning Terroristan, Pakistan? The third, how will India's water warfare actually dry up Pakistan? That's a very key part of it, because Pakistan has been talking about it. It wants to escalate this. Remember, it's a bilateral issue. New Delhi is very clear about it. But will that actually find mention on the UNSC meeting? And lastly, what does Iran's foreign minister's meeting to Pakistan actually mean to India, and will that have a bearing on that closed-door meeting? Joining me now to talk more about this is, in fact, Achal Kumar Malhotra, former ambassador, as well as General S.P. Sinha, to understand what could be the larger takeaway of this. And in fact, Ambassador Malhotra, let me start with you. As we speak ahead of that crucial meeting, I come back to what I started this discussion with, which is that there is a global support that is firmly and squarely behind India, and one is seeing that ahead of a meeting that Pakistan called. Pakistan wants to raise this issue, an international issue, but the world stands firmly and squarely behind India. Ambassador Malhotra.
No, there's no doubt about it, because Pahalgam terror attack, we are the victim. And the entire world has been unanimous in condemning the attack, and they are always in every global forum, in all joint statements, in all bilateral statements. There is invariably a condemnation of terrorism and a determination to fight terrorism in all forms and manifestations. But that's the general position. Now, coming to the specifics, will they hold Pakistan responsible for this? By name? Will they name and shame Pakistan? In the United Nations Security Council meeting, which is taking place now, very difficult to say, because China is there. And China is very, despite the fact that they are sending a lot of feelers to India, that they want to improve relations with India. But naming and shaming Pakistan in the UN Security Council meeting today looks very unlikely. This meeting is taking place at the initiative of Pakistan, and I think they have a predetermined agenda, and that is twofold. One, they would also try to project themselves as the victim of terrorism.
Yes.
Which, because of the TTP, they have been having terror attacks. They will deny, they will say they have absolutely no role in the Pahalgam. And thirdly, they will try to shed, tears. They say India is trying to punish us, give us punitive measures, taking punitive measures, like those water treaty, stopping water, which is against humanity, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
So the world being with us.
The point is not what Pakistan is saying, but the point is whether the world believes this bluff or not. That's really the larger point.
No, they don't believe, but they will not name or shame Pakistan in the UN Security Council. I can give you in writing today.
General Sinha, what would you like in terms of your expectation from this meeting?
You see, it's my belief that Pakistan has got moles in a United Nations Security Council. There are countries who directly or indirectly support Pakistan. One example I'll tell you. Then in United Nations, the mention of the fact that the terrorists asked for the religion of the people who have been killed and then killed them. They asked, are you Hindu? And then they killed them. That line is gone. Under whose influence? Chinese influence. That means, imagine the TRF, the Resistance Front of China, which is an extension of Lashkar-e-Taiba, 2 days after the incident admitted that we have done it. Under pressure from ISI, after 4 days they withdrew. The fact of the matter is that there is enough intelligence report and we have satellite communication intercepts which proves that Pakistan is involved. And there is no mention in United Nations. United Nations has taken any corrective action after 1947 to correct root cause of terrorism of Pakistan, which is the epicenter of terrorism.
Yes.
Nothing happens. It is put in FATF, then certain important countries start playing politics and it is removed from FATF. The country which deserves to be put in blacklist is removed from grey list.
Indeed.
If this is the way world has to function, then countries like Pakistan will have their free run. The question is how
they
far
won't have their free run. They won't have their free run because the world is able to see.
I'm telling you, they have got moles in the system. What action have they taken against Pakistan till now? I want to ask.
Ambassador Malhotra, do you think
what action against 9/11?
Okay.
26/11 case. What action?
Let me put that out to Ambassador Malhotra, which is that while you expect that there will be no naming and shaming of Pakistan at the UNSC closed door meeting, what do you expect could be the next course of action? Remember, diplomatically, there is a lot of support. Within the Trump administration, there is great amount of support. They put that out on record. Likewise, around the world as well. So what do you think could be India's next course of action after this?
No, Gauri, what I can say for sure is that the global support and sympathy that has been expressed in the past 2 weeks or so in our favor, what would it translate into? It would translate into the fact that if we today decide to take some military action or we identify some selected targets and hit them, I can assure you that there will be absolutely no resistance from any other country, particularly the global players. It's not 1971 when the United States, they sent their 7th Fleet and all those kind of stuff. So they even some of them have defended they have said India has a right to defend itself. So if we are defending ourselves from terror attacks, there will be no hue and cry. I say so because of late the new normal is use force to secure your political rights if the need arises. This is what Azerbaijan did in Armenia. This is what Russia did in Ukraine. Now, this is what Israel is doing in Hamas. So this UN Security Council will end up by making once again an appeal to both sides to exercise restraint. They will express their
but they will not address the root cause. That's what you are saying. They will not address the root cause, making this entire exercise meaningless at some level.
Gauri, even outside the UN Security Council, everybody has the good terrorists, bad terrorists. If the terror organization is aiming against United States of America, they'll do anything. In our case, if there is a India-specific terror, the best they will do is intelligence sharing, real-time intelligence sharing. And beyond that, nobody is interested. Nobody is going to do. they are not going to come and
I think
act on our
the biggest
behalf.
difference is, I have to wrap this up, the biggest difference here is that this is not India of 1971, that it needs somebody else to take an action
No.
against the wrong that has been done on its soil,
Yes.
against its people. And that really is the biggest and the most important fact. Thank you so much, gentlemen, joining me today on India Global.